Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the Greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Office Hours with Dr. Sherman. I, of course, am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director and Head Containment Specialist here at Site 42. And as always, daily as we have done for 5.5 months and counting, the streak continues strong. Once a day, I open my doors, today for a 3-hour stream, and we are going to be answering your questions about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who are not so happy about the containment thing, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, maybe because they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We've got 3 hours, a full string today, everyone, to talk about the SCP Foundation's inner mysterious machinations. So, let me start off with a little bit of housekeeping. First, Dr. Puppeteer, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual staff member of the day, and for being the first chatter we had. Meanwhile, along with you, Dr. Puppeteer, Junior Researcher Sally, Chesta Factory, Light Steve, Legendary Doge, Dr. Frogman, Dr. Cullivan, Silent Follower, Junior Researcher HLG, O5 Apprentice America, Scarlet, A.A. Blackwood, Zerdrin, Aoki, Dark Duality. Everyone I have thusly named, thank you for your exceptional punctuality, as well as being members. Thank you for your membership and your service here to Site 42. Meanwhile, the engineer, Ace, Angel, Director Ethan, and a hidden one. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here, just for being you. Now, one more little piece of housekeeping I want to give you guys attention to. Well, first of all, I see you're all very, very excited that we're doing a full 3-hour stream today. I can't promise it's going to be consistent, but I am trying to ramp back up to having full streams again. So we'll do this a couple days this week. It'll get more consistent. Remember, on the weekends where I work my day job, that's not possible. So it'll only be a couple days a week, even if we successfully get up to run. So still we'll have some. Now, on top of which, first of all, hey boss, if one of these streams gets 500 likes, I'll donate 1,000 gifted subs. 1,000 gifted subs, you say. O5 Apprentice America, that is a lot. I hate to say that I doubt your strength, but that's a lot. If you're able to do that, we will see when this stream hits 500 likes. Not if, when, because it will. Right, chat? I mean, there are 100 of you here and only 42 likes, so maybe I shouldn't be so confident in my containment hazard assessment team as I should think I should be. I mean, I thought you guys were very capable, but a 50% like rate less than? Come now! Oh, there's the jump. Now we're talking Mobile Task Force Psi 42 codename Signal Boosters. I look forward to calling America's bluff. Can you call America's bluff today and see how this goes down? Now, furthermore, I want to talk about the membership challenge because I have good news about the membership challenge and the bad news about the membership challenge. The good news is I just checked my calendar and I have a hair appointment for coloring set for October 29th. That gives you guys 3 weeks to hit that goal of 2,500 channel memberships, to which we're somewhere around 1,800 right now. And that gives you 3 weeks to hit that goal, and then I can do the pink hair that you want me to do there immediately. So within 3 weeks, if you can do it, we will have that on lock. It'll be right in the time for the spooky season. But I do want to warn you, this challenge will be harder than we thought, because remember, regular memberships is when someone signs up for one membership and sticks with it month after month. Gifted memberships expire at the end of the month unless the giftee re-ups them. And so that means that while gifted memberships are a great way to hit this goal, it is harder to hit the goal that way because every day gift memberships from the past expire and are not renewed. So I looked at today's. I'm still waiting to see how many the new memberships from yesterday make it be. But I do notice that today's membership number as it stands is 100 less than it was yesterday. Now, yesterday's donations, the way the back end works, I don't know if you know this about YouTube, but monetization on YouTube always takes 24 hours to accrue. So it means that yesterday's donos have not been added to the fire yet, but yesterday's cancellations have been added or taken away. So it looks like we lost 100 memberships. I know yesterday's donos will catch it back up. But I'm just saying, what I want to warn you of is it's an uphill battle for gifted memberships because every day we gain some, but every day we also lose some. So don't take it as a gospel, whatever number you guys are keeping track of, because it fluctuates based on cancellations. Yeah, Java name. You just joined and you missed the explanation. Go back 20 seconds, because it's not as bad as you think. But I'm just saying, it'll make our way up over time. But we just got to fight that fight. October 29th is my next hair coloring appointment. So you have that long to get in there. Now, where am I here? Desk, are you telling me that a certain Toad King is in our chat today? Where is Toad King Studios at? Where's my mans? I see Gamer Godzilla and Johnny Contrera and Silly. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Ah, there's Eric. Good to see you, Toad King. If you are a fan of Welcome to Night Vale, may I recommend to you to check out Toad King Studios, who runs the Podcast Foundation After Midnight. And that is basically our version of Welcome to Night Vale. It's pretty damn good, too. Although it's been defunct for a little while. Maybe I've heard tell that Toad King's going to start making episodes again, maybe? I don't know. Could be a rumor. Could be a rumor. On top of which, reminder that Toad King Studios is also one of the very best SCP Foundation merch makers in the community. So if you head to Toad King Studios' Etsy shop, you'll find some very fine wares. Many pieces we gave away back at MetroCon at our in-person Dr. Sherman Site 42 SCP meetup at MetroCon over the summer. So we'll have to do some more for that later. But in the meantime, let me start by Charlie 10 Pro. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some hummus and pita bread on your way past the commissary. What happened to the SCP Foundation during the Rage virus? Well, I mean, we already deal with SCP-008, along with multiple other kinds of zombies, so it's not really a big deal for us. I mean, it is a hard and very contagious problem, but it's not something we're not used to dealing with, at least. Rebel Commander, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially in the battle against the White Names, and or the battle to dye Dr. Sherman's hair pink, which is apparently what you guys wanted me to do with 2,500 memberships. Now, Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some churros on your way past the commissary. What kind of pink? Well, I was thinking of going with a strawberry milk pink. That is my favorite hue of pink. I used to have a pair of Chuck Taylors that were strawberry milk pink. They were very good. You wear them with suits and they really stand out. Please do not ban me for this, but who is Mr. Bright? Alice, we have a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Bright, and it is the quick explainer for the scenario and why we do not mention that SCP Foundation character on this channel. So you can go check that out, and you can, from there, see what's going on. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as re-upping your membership. Make sure to grab yourself a hoagie on your way past the commissary. Quick, not much time. New discovered anomaly in Tibet. Only minutes before it comes back. Steals memories from head. Quick, help. Wait, what am I typing about? Well, first of all, please get back to a facility. Medical will give you some nestics to restore your memory. But yes, get away from the thing. That's the first thing, is to get away from the thing. Junior Researcher HLG, the maid dress is the 5,000 member goal. Specifically, the cat maid waifu Dr. Sherman thing. Raccoon Dog, thank you for gifting 5 Site 42 memberships to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a warm pretzel with beer cheese on your way past the commissary. And if you got a membership from Raccoon Dog, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Of 05 Apprentice America, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Caesar salad on your way past the commissary. And you didn't leave a message with your donation, so simply thank you for your generosity. Base, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. Dr. Blank used me as a test robot for Anomalous Halloween Candy Bowl. I got pulled into the bowl and ended up in a pocket dimension full of metal-eating Snickers. I'm an android, so it was not fun. Well, I'm shocked that Dr. Harry Blank would use you for such a situation, but hey, maybe we had to communicate with those metal chompers somehow, and maybe you were the bait. Alice, have you never had a hot pickle? A spicy pickle? They are delightful. They are delightful. They are marinated in a spicy pickle liquid. Therefore, you get a bite of pickle, if you enjoy pickles, and then also a nice little pleasant spice burn. Chat, you've never had a hot pickle before. Oh my word. You should go try a hot pickle. Just go find one. They're usually in the supermarket. You can buy them individually, just like an individual. It's like a Capri Sun bag, but it's full of pickle juice and a pickle. And they come with flavors. It's nice. Oh, they're not that spicy. They're not that spicy. No, I did not mean a pickle that you put in the microwave. Please do not microwave a pickle. I don't know what will happen. All right. We are currently 15 minutes into this 3-hour stream, And for a moment, I'm going to suspend talking to the chat and talking to the donos, just so I can get across the point of today's stream title, because I want to make sure you guys know what's going down. So all donos, all membership joins, subscribers, I will get to those in about 5 to 10 minutes. But today's theme, you want happy endings, ? Is a speaking to some of the past and present morality and thought processes and coping of working for the Foundation. Because over time, we have hopefully evolved in our mannerisms in how we do things around here. For instance, a very early and very prominent article on the wiki for sort of the tone of working for the Foundation is called Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Gray. And Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Black, White, Gray is, I'm going to be honest, kind of a downer, but it's goes along with the die in the dark so they can live in the light mentality. And it's very short, so I'm just going to read it to you real quick. Yesterday, I watched 3 men die because one man sneezed in a room full of blood and shit and light. Today, 3 more men go in, cheap mops and each other's lives in their hands. Yesterday, I watched a man I admired gunned down for leaving a rose for a girl whose life was tattered by trauma she never deserved. Today, she doesn't remember, and 3 halls down, I can still hear her screaming. Yesterday, I watched a group of soldiers go down fighting against the corpses of comrades who had died before them. Today, we test another sample, this time on children. Yesterday, I watched 5 men gunned down in an abandoned factory no one cares about. Today, it happens again and again. Every 5 seconds. Forever. Yesterday, I watched a man sit comfortably in a nice armchair, sipping scotch and laughing as he ordered a woman to simply stop breathing. Today, he gets the day off of work detail for good behavior. Yesterday, I watched hundreds of men and women in orange jumpsuits herded like animals into empty rooms that filled with gas and fire. Today, hundreds more are told that they have a chance for a lighter sentence and a chance to serve their country. Yesterday, I watched the world nearly die in 1,000 terrible ways. Sometimes we would have had time to scream. Today, I'm alive to read about it. You want happy endings? Fuck you. You're alive to read it. God help us all. Secure, contain, protect. So, that is the tale. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, gray. And that is very early mood of the SCP Foundation. And, you know, it's still very prominent on the wiki at a plus 2,134 upvotes. That is the feeling of how people were when they started writing about the wiki. But now, let's go a couple years in the future. Originally posted in the year of our Lord 2017. So 10 years after the SCP Wiki was born, which was the first SCP was written in 2007. So 10 years later, here is our, let's say, rebuttal. This tale is titled, Regarding You Want Happy Endings? From Lyle Naismith to Lyle Naismith. Subject, memo to self. You have set this message to be sent automatically to yourself every day at 11 a.m. CST. You may edit or cancel this setting in the Preferences menu. Why bother? Let's say the Scarlet King awakens. Let's say he eats 4,000 sacrificial virgins for breakfast. Halfway through number 2,374, he remembers a particularly funny knock-knock joke. He laughs, he chokes, and none of his slaves know CPR. Let's say the flesh god and the machine god decide to settle their differences, once and for all. Let's say they bring every Sarkic cultist and broken god-fearing soldier to the final battle. The battlefield is on the other side of a wormhole, which closes and never opens again. Only catch, we never know who wins. But we can live with that. Let's say we find an infinitely huge wall of drawers. Let's say we fill them up with every anomalous item, where they'll be perfectly content until the heat death of the universe. And let's say we still die screaming. Why bother? May 12th, 2016. One of my few days off in spring. I drank milk straight from the jug without looking at the expiration date. It should have been spoiled for 2 days. It wasn't. Still fresh. 8 a.m. Penny Naismith was off to school, and Mrs. Rosa Naismith told me that she had to go to a parent-teacher conference for Penny later. I'll go, I said. Don't, she said. It's your day off. Last week, I saw a D-class eaten alive by a snake made of intrusive thoughts. I think I can deal with bitchy teachers. Rosa grimaced, skeptical. It's Mr. Glassman, isn't it? I thought, starting to miss the mind viper. 9 a.m. I sip a mimosa. There's a classic Doctor Who marathon on PBS. Old Tom Baker's. Rosa catches me, grinning ear to ear as the title theme comes on. She laughs. 3 p.m. Mr. Glassman, assistant principal, told me that my daughter doesn't handle bullies well. I said, then how about we do something about the kids trying to provoke her? He said, look, when she's older, you won't be there to force her to toughen up. Do you want to coddle your daughter all your life or let her build character? Half an hour of smiling and nodding later, I took a photo out of my wallet, said it was of Penny at her baptism. The photo was of a narcissist class visual cognitohazard that had just been decommissioned. Seeing the foam come from his mouth was one of the finer points of my life as a father, and well worth a reprimand from the O5 Council. Mr. Glassman's still healthy, of course. Only difference is, he believes that if Penny ever cries, a 7-foot-tall eel man lurking outside his peripheral vision will eat his eyeballs. 6 p.m. Penny and I watched a movie that introduced her to swear words. She laughed hard enough to start wheezing. 8 p.m. Penny's in bed early, contented. 8:30 p.m. Pretty sure I can't go into detail on a Foundation email server, but Rosa's still got it after 10 years. My pelvis still hurts thinking about it. God bless America. You want happy endings? Fuck you. You want sad endings? Again, fuck you. There are only endings. If 15 years of service to a shadow fascist organization bent on locking up all our demons in boxes has taught me anything, it's that good and bad are completely subjective. One man's ZK class reality failure is another man's orgasm. So, why bother? Because sometimes, temporarily, everything goes right. Whatever your situation, however bad things get, as long as you're alive, there can always be a great day. You got this, Lyle. You're making Penny and Rosa proud. And Dr. Henderson, too, wherever he is. Don't let the nihilist and quitter seduce you. There will be more May 12th, 2016s if you can keep the bastards locked up. And if you can help it, don't detonate the on-site nuke until you finish the Tom Baker episodes. Love, Dr. Lyle Naismith, Site Director, Foundation Site 59. So, kind of a different vibe, huh? Derek Barber. Learn how to have fun. You're too high-strung. So lame. So, moral of the story. Yeah, we deal with a lot of bullshit working here at the Foundation. But how about you look on the bright side for a little bit? Let us try to take care of ourselves and our mental well-being. Because even while everything is shit, which, let's look at the world today, there's a lot of shit. But as long as we are still breathing, we can still have good days. We can still do good. We can still be happy. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And that means the bad things are temporary too. And that means keep going. No matter what. It ain't over till it's over. And so while we're at it, why don't we look at some other SCP stories that specifically have happy endings? I will now return to the chat with 2.5 hours left of this 3-hour stream. I will answer your queries and questions about the Foundation, and we will move forward with some happy endings. Junior Researcher Sally, you know what? I need that today. Thanks, Doc. Me too, Sally. Me too. So yeah. Damn, Dr. Sherman, you made more sense on that topic than my therapist. Well, take it from an old man on the internet's terms anyways. Just like Matt Patton, Hank Green, I am a elder YouTuber. And so I've been around the block a couple times. I've seen some highs and some lows. And at the end of the day, I'm doing what I can to pay it forward to the rest of you. Let's make the world a better place, one good time at a time. So let me check the donos real quick and catch up on those so I'm not too far behind. Cam the Bluxia, thank you for becoming, thank you for your 1-month member message, although you didn't make a message. But congratulations on your 1-month anniversary of being a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you do to help us win the battle against the white names. Base, thank you for donating again. Another thing, Dr. Everwood got a USB stick from a weird amusement park. He plugged it into me, and now there's a purple raccoon AI named Rambly that talks in my head. Not complaining. He's pretty nice. Well, as long as it's not giving you any hints about secrets that shouldn't be revealed, then yeah, enjoy yourself. Oh, and by the way, Site 42 staff, I noticed that we currently have 130 likes and 124 viewers, which means you have successfully got the like count above the viewer count. Oh, and it just jumped to 132 viewers. So you need to hit that like button now because it just reverted on you. Come on, 2 more likes. 2 more likes. Fix it so I can finish the spiel. I gotta salute you, but you gotta do the job. There's your 139. You're back, people. Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codename Signal Boosters, will not be defeated. The algorithm will bring us new blood, and we will make them SCP Foundation fans, whether or not they like it. Also remember that O5 Apprentice America has threatened you with a good time if we make it to 500 likes this stream. I want to see how many of these 1,000 memberships they think they can do. Because if not, then O5 Apprentice America, you will be demoted to junior researcher again. You don't make promises you don't keep at the Foundation. If you break protocol, there are consequences. So please, let me see 500 likes and see if O5 Apprentice America's green names are where their mouth are. Me idly scrolling YouTube shorts. You pop up talking about bring me their blood or something. I mean, listen, intern, just another pot? Yes, that is the kind of thing we do at the Foundation pretty often, actually. I mean, how else are you going to feed the blood-eating demon in Cell Block C? You need the blood. But no, I was talking about metaphorical blood, about bringing new blood, as in new people, to the Foundation. That time, I was talking about metaphorical blood. Not every time, but that time, yes. Omega Wolf, Souls, Max, and Sinister Clock. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I said I will donate, I never promised. That is not a distinction I will honor here at the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Your word is what you say you will do. It doesn't need to be a literal promise. That's not a way to worm yourself out of your word. Try better next time. I look forward to your downfall. You flew too close to the sun, Icarus, and now your wax wings are gonna melt. I can't wait to see Junior Researcher America next stream. But I can only get that joy if the Containment Hazard Assessment team gets us to 500 likes by the end of today's stream. So please, please give me this joy. Give me this joy. I would find such deliciosity in it. I want to savor the flavor of America's downfall. Don't clip that. The person, not the country. Exactly, Blackwood. Don't clip that. You know what I meant. Bread Sandwich, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and grab yourself some jam on your way past the commissary. Do mirrored SCPs exist, as in SCPs that act opposite to an existing one? Like a Mirror 173 that moves when you look at it, or possibly a Mirror 999? Not very often. Usually, taking an SCP and doing the Meanwhile in Australia meme to it, which is an SCP, by the way, that does not often turn up an article that is of a quality enough to survive on the wiki. Now, there are some -Js that are a parody of an SCP main list article, and sometimes it is, the joke is that it's the opposite of what it was, but I don't think it's very common, actually. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. So inspiring, thank. Glad to hear it. We gotta band together and do what we can to survive the times we're in. If you're on my other platforms and or you watch all of our shorts, the algorithmically ones that don't perform well are a out-of-character short I do every Friday called Victory Friday. And Victory Friday is just a tradition me and my friends used to have over a decade ago. We would meet up on Fridays at a bar, just our little group, and we would have a toast to whatever good happened that week, no matter how small, because you gotta have something going for you. You gotta look on the bright side at least a little. And so after I moved away from town, I took Victory Friday to the internet and made it an everyone thing. And so yes, Victory Friday is a look on the bright side thing. Sometimes you just need to make sure you have a reason to keep going. I wish I could donate. Well, Mothman, if you do not have the money to donate, remember, we in the SCP community are used to people who don't have much money. I mean, the phrase starving artist is a stereotype for a reason. We're an arts community, we're familiar with the broke gang. So just a reminder, even if you're not directly donating, you are still helping Site 42 by watching our videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, chatting in our live streams, hitting that like button, all that YouTube business. It boosts us in the algorithm, which helps our profile rise, which brings people in. And what do we do with these people? We use them to help support the SCP Wiki. For the K-pop Demon Hunters, it's for the fans! And for Site 42, it's for the Wiki! And so if you are here helping out Site 42 in this way, you are a valuable and honored member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. Not only for raising Site 42's profile, which helps us to keep the snowball rolling, but because when an SCP video game or an SCP short film comes out, I want to be able to tell you guys about it and then have you guys be able to go over and support it, whether, again, algorithmically or monetarily, as you are capable. So we are all in this together to keep the Site 42 and the SCP Foundation train running. I'm just the conductor of the train, but it's not worth driving a train if there's no passengers, if there's no staff. You guys are the heroes here. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I like that concept. I always look forward to it. I'm glad to hear it. For a long time, I didn't know Victory Friday was very popular as a concept, because all the videos, because they're not about SCPs, they got a lot less views. And also because, you know, I'm on the internet. I see some comments and I'm happy about it, but I never really thought it meant that much to someone. And then I went back home to Florida one time, and one of my friends gifted me the gold Victory Friday necklace that I wear every Friday on Victory Friday, because they said that it was that important to them that someone is being positive about it. And this is even despite the fact that they don't often comment their victories, so I didn't think they knew about it or were paying attention. So, whatever we can do to uplift people, even if you don't think you're making an impact, the butterfly effect is strong, man, and we can do this together. Wolfie Boy, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Site 42 staff, you almost have 200 likes. That would get us 40% to the way of proving America's bluff. So let's hit that like button and get us to 500 likes. I want to have some fun at someone else's expense today. A little bit of the old Schadenfreude is good for the soul. Just a malfunctioning AI. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some hash browns on your way past the commissary. Remember, there are no happy endings in Night City. Oof. You are so right. Man, oh man. For context, over the winter when I busted my ankle and I was stuck on the couch for basically 3 months straight, super depressing. I do not recommend it. Well, one of the things I did is I finally sat down and played Cyberpunk 2077. And, hot damn, that's such a good name. Such a good game. I played the hell out of that game. But, whoo boy, did every ending be so depressing. Man, that's tough. It was emotionally hard finishing those rounds. Yeesh. All right, let me skip that. Oh, don't do that. Now we're back. Flora, thank you for your first donation. Oh, whoa, wait. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot dog on your way past the commissary. What if I post the photo of SCP-096? I highly doubt you have a legitimate photo of SCP-096 in your possession. we have tracked down a whole lot and destroyed a whole lot of actual photos of 096. What you have is probably an artistic representation. And if you posted that, it wouldn't do anything, because artistic representations don't count. It has to be a legitimate photo or video. So, do your worst. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. How be the foot, by the way? It is getting better. I am currently able to walk up to an hour straight before I need to rest. And you know, I had this realization the other day that kind of heartbroke me a little now, but it's better than realizing it later, which is that an Achilles tendon injury like I had takes about 6 to 12 months to return, to heal and return to normal function. And I was like, okay, well, next week, literally 7 days from now, is the 1-year anniversary of when I injured my ankle. And then there was 2 months where I didn't know I was hurting it more, because if you stretch a tendon injury, it gets worse, not better. So I was making my injury worse for 2 months before I went to the doctor. And then I actually started healing. So December is the 12 months of my healing. But I realized also that my function before I was injured was way better than normal function. I'm a ballroom dance teacher. I was dancing 8 hours a day. I was doing heavy lifting at the gym every morning. I was in pretty dog good shape. And so I realized that, yeah, it'll take a year for me to get back to normal human standard, but it's going to take me longer to get back to my full capacity. And that's a little depressing. It feels like a setback, even though it's not. I just didn't consider it that way. But now that I've realized it, at least I'm not going to be disappointed on the day of. I'm going to go, oh, wait, I knew this was coming, and I can keep working on it. So all of that said, I am doing better. I need to get up to the point where I can dance 8 hours a day again, straight, no breaks. Well, little 5-minute breaks, but I need to get up to 8-hour days again so I can keep working better, and I can do all my proper exercise. But we're making progress. That's the end of the story. Every day I'm doing a little yoga as well as my rehab, and I am getting stronger again. So just gotta take it easy and not rush. Intern Lesbian, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Also, you're 3 likes away from 200, so make sure you hit that like button. We have to hit 500 so we can all laugh at soon-to-be junior researcher America's hubris. Just a malfunctioning AI, thank you for donating again. Only good ending is if you leave. Exactly, the Pan Am ending. Yep. Which is the first one I picked as well. I'm so mad in Cyberpunk 2077. I made one wrong dialogue choice at the Johnny conversation at his grave, and I couldn't do the secret ending. I was so mad. Are the SCPs breedable? Mr. Fish, some of the animal SCPs can be bred or crossbred, but we don't often do that experiment because then we would have more anomalies to contain, which is a waste of resources. So it's not an experience we stick with. Leuna, thank you for your 2-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you're doing to help us win the battle against the white names. Help, Doc, the liquid nitrogen is running low on her. Listen, I told you, Mariah Carey is an Archon-class anomaly. We have to let her out, because what would happen if we don't is far worse. I think I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me check that real quick. I don't want to forget it forever. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and as well as being a member. And thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi, which is in our support link that's pinned in the chat. The Ko-Fi takes a far smaller fee than the 30% of your donation that YouTube does. So although it's a little more effort, it does help Site42 a little more per donation. So we appreciate you going through the effort. Not getting anywhere. Oh, yes, and make sure to grab yourself a cupcake on your way past the commissary. Not getting anywhere near Doc Beeks anytime soon. I'm sick as fuck. Correct, you do not want the cure. Pretty sure common cold ain't the pestilence, but just to be extra mega sure, sorry for the sponge sarcasm, but can only hear that same blabbering so much before it becomes grating. Yes, it wants to cure the pestilence, but it also wants to cure other things, so do not go there. Site42 staff, congratulations on surpassing 200 likes. Mobile Task Force Site42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. Excellent work. Now keep the train running, because 300 more, and we get to watch Junior Researcher America eat crow. Not Dr. Crow, like the metaphorical crow. We would not feed Dr. Kane Pathos Crow to Junior Researcher America for that. I'm not stopping it, it's just too early. Well, keep an eye on the percentages, because it is a long defrosting process. I mean, after that, we have to do the upkeep and the fluid draining before we let her out. You've seen the Austin Powers documentary, so yes. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a frothy cappuccino on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, progress on the weaponized robot T-Rex, codename Groundhog, it's an A-10 warthog on the ground, is going well. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, mechanized armaments are always useful in the containment of larger level threat entities. Yes, keep up the good work. Scarface Carver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, I guess, some bandages at the medical bay because you got shot by a team member. Well, that's what you grunts get for not being careful with your safeties. Avoid friendly fire, please. Rebel Commander, thank you for your 2-month member message. As a level 1 researcher here at Site42, we appreciate your membership and your service in the battle against the white names. Seeing binary code of a photo of 096 do anything? No, because you would have taken the actual photo and translated it into something else that is not actually its face. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Baby steps, progress, Dr. Sherman, still happy for you. 1 step at a time. Literally. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cold brew on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, silly question, but it's for Halloween. Would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire? Or a secret third thing? Well, if I had to be one of the two, I think I would prefer vampire, because I enjoy the nightlife anyways. And so I could get by with that, and I have my powers once all the time as opposed to just once a month. I also have the ability to suffice on modern renovations such as blood banks rather than killing. So it's a good time to be a vampire, I'm just saying. If you live in a city and you got a good blood bank connection, You can basically just live a normal life in the nightlife. But I would rather be a pirate above all things. Yar. Leuna, thank you for donating again. I'm not stopping it, it's just too early. Or no, thank you for your first donation, since that was a member message earlier. So thank you for your first donation as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cup of calming jasmine tea on your way past the commissary. I'm not stopping it, it's just too early. Yeah, it is a slow process. Check the percentages, but I think you're probably fine. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of fries on your way past the commissary. Back from medical, feeling better but had 2 out of 3 problems solved. Gotta love the US healthcare system. Could definitely use some happiness now. Ay caramba, yes, that is a big oof. American healthcare in general, I sympathize completely based on what it took me to deal with the ankle situation. But keep up the good work, take care of yourself, rest and recover, we'll be good. Desk, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got that membership, make sure to thank Desk for their generosity. Also, I'm going to look something up real quick about Desk's donated memberships. YouTube, how do gifted memberships get distributed on YouTube? The team has confirmed that gifted memberships are distributed based on activity, so active viewers are prioritized. They wouldn't or couldn't share exact specifics, but it is intended to prioritize regulars. And as it was said, it seems like it prioritizes regulars, also people who are not actively watching the stream, but just general subscribers. So since we have over 1 million subscribers, the odds of receiving a gifted membership are actually quite low until we start reaching higher levels of membership. Can you teach us how to spin that pen? Yes, I can. But let me answer 2 things first. Do you believe in God? Well, Mothman, we contain multiple gods. I mean, we have 4 Jesuses or Jezi in containment as is. We have 029-J, Uber driver Jesus. We have 3305, Bread Jesus. We have 6542, Milk Jesus, i.e. Jesus. And we have 5991, Vor Jesus. That's not to suffice all of the Greek gods we have in containment, other deities. So yeah, we have a lot of gods that we believe in because we are literally containing them. Meanwhile, I'm gonna reverse that. Or no, you didn't ban that person. You just removed the message. That's fine. Yeah, let's not ban that person. I checked their channel history and they seemed fine. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Mobile Task Force Captain Hikari. Thank you for your exceptionally generous donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. What I want you to do is I want you to go to the Site 42 gym, and I want you to go up to the smoothie counter, and I want you to ask the person working the smoothie counter for the Dr. Sherman special. And I tell you this, you have 72 hours to do whatever you want with the amount of good vibes and energy that smoothie will give you. It is not allowed to everyone, but for your generosity, I'll let you take it. I don't ban over overly religious talks. Timeouts are normally unless they are belligerent. I like your policy, Desk. Good working as always. Now, Hikari says, "Hey, Dr. Sherman, I'm back from Azeroth and I managed to retrieve some crystalline samples of Void and Light. Surprisingly, had some help from Els in turn for some bounty work." Excellent job. Excellent work. Yes, please turn that over so we can start studying those immediately. We can find some very good use for those. If we can learn to harness their energies. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a frittata on your way past the commissary. Count Shermula. I'm gonna make that happen. Count Shermula, you say? Well, I guess I could use a royal title. Why not? Building Block, thank you for donating again. Think we got a new Jesus to contain. Getting reports of a kangaroo hopping on water. You cannot be serious. I do not want to get punched by Kangaroo Jesus, okay? This does not sound like a good time. Oh, that's gonna be a rough test. Silver Runner, long time no see, good to see you. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bowl of queso and some nachos on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, multiple SCPs have reached this level of reality from the fiction of the wiki. Why don't I remember them, i.e. a voice behind me? So many pataphysical level breaches have been noted in recent days. The big deal you gotta do is go into a pataphysical Faraday cage and hide yourself from the fiction. And eventually this will straighten out. Puppet Boy, queso mention? Don't even start with me about queso, the best dip of all time. I am a queso fiend. We will talk queso all day, so. Zarian, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a schmore on your way past the commissary. So, why is there a giant lizard out and about? Oh, you must be talking about the kaijus. Yes. So, there is in Japan SCP Kaiju. What number was it? It's not 5514. I'm not talking about the ones that Dragon Slayer is fighting. There we go. 2954 is currently active. SCP 2954, codename Looping Kaiju Killing. So, over in the redacted area of Japan, well, I don't know why we redacted the area for our own document, some satellite weaponry, like laser satellites, spawn and start becoming active. And they start shooting electricity at these, like, rubber costume giant kaijus that spawn every once in a while. And so the military forces will spawn, fight the kaiju, and once it's done, the whole matter dematerializes. So 2954 is currently active. It will be inactive soon. You don't have to worry about it. Intern Torin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a melon ball on your way past the commissary. What would happen if Queso ate SCP-999? Well, if anyone eats SCP-999, first of all, SCP-999 is 2 meters wide by 1 meter tall of slime. It's not a small slime. So your stomach would probably rupture before you finished it. That's a lot of goo right there. But let's say necessarily that over time, any individual ate SCP-999. Well, first of all, it tickles all the way down. It tickles all the way through. Imagine how uncomfortable that is, okay? You don't want it. You don't want it. Chess to Factory. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to do it through the Ko-Fi. Make sure to grab yourself a pizza ball on your way past the commissary. Team Edward or Team Jacob, also Team Peter or Team Gale. So, in the first ship battle, one of them imprinted on a baby, so I immediately say no. Team Edward. Secondarily, Gale was never really that helpful. Team PETA. Dr. Cullivan, are you telling me you're unfamiliar with a pizza ball? I need you, later on, you don't have to interrupt this stream, but just look up the YouTube video, Time for a Pizza Ball. Time for a Pizza Ball. That's your homework, Dr. Cullivan. Radius, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself, I guess, some breadsticks on your way past the commissary, because you seem to want breadsticks. Radius, enjoy your breadsticks. My favorite SCP is SCP-5031. Well, Intern Lion, 5031 is one of my favorites as well. And a reminder, I always list my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's like a tradition around these parts. So you can hang out for the next 2 hours because we are 1 hour into our 2-hour stream. Or if you really need to know my favorite SCPs right now, you can jump back to a previous stream. Silver Runner, thank you for donating again. I know of no Patafaraday cage near me. Did my version of the Foundation amnesticize me during 3812's pataphysical jump up? Well, you might have just been within range of 3812's radius of effect. All sorts of unpredictable things happen during that. And so what you got to do is just get out of range first and foremost. And hey, maybe your memory will come right back anyways. Beyond that, as I said, make it to medical if not. Hiya, dude, big fan. I was going to see if you can do some voice acting if you were in an SCP movie. Well, Intern Rodriguez, I am always up to helping SCP community projects. If you are making an SCP movie, please contact me at my business email, which is linked in the chat's pinned chatter, which is our SCP Site-42 beacon link. It is our support link. My business email's in there, and yes, if you are making an SCP movie, I would love to hear more. How do you do that pen spin thing? Yes, I was asked to talk about that earlier. Now is the time for your lesson. So, a quick, momentary lesson on pen spinning. If you want to learn, you have to hold the pen between 2 fingers. Now, I specifically like holding it between my fingers in this orientation because every time it gets here, I can click it again. And I like the extra click in between sets. Except this pen is broken because I've dropped it too many times. So I'm going to use this pen as an example because it works. So I hold it like this, and I lied to you. I hold it eraser down in between my index and middle fingers. That way it lands here. Once I want to spin it, I start by turning it horizontally in between 2 fingers. You get it horizontal, and then you catch it. And now it's over here. You turn it horizontal, and you catch it. You turn it horizontal over the top, and you get it. And so you just keep turning it over and catching it, over and catch, over and catch, over and catch. And then you can reverse the direction and go the other way. The other thing you want to know while you practice is if you practice palm up, then you can have gravity help you keep the pen in your hand. Whereas if you practice palm down, It's like working out in the hyperbolic time chamber with extra gravity. Gravity keeps trying to steal the pen, and so you got to fight for it. And then naturally, you're going to hold your hand in a natural thumbs up position, and then you can walk it both ways. So, that said, let me switch back. And by the way, for those of you who have asked, this is not a Global Occult Coalition pen. That is not an O, that is a D. It is from the Game Developers Conference, which is held in San Francisco, where I am basically from, the Bay Area. And I get invited up there when people are coming there to advertise SCP games. I've been up there with a couple SCP gaming teams in the past. So, where was I? Zarian, welcome to Overseer level membership here at Site 42. We appreciate the leadership that you're going to bring to the battle against the White Names. Thank you for your membership and your service. Okay, refresh the chat. It was doing something funky. Torin, thank you for donating again. SCP-008-2 versus SCP-049-2. Who wins? What is SCP-049-2? Is that what we designated the pestilence? I didn't know it had a dash designation. Control F 049-2. Ah, the zombies, okay. Now I see what you're getting at. I forgot about the zombies for a minute, okay? 049 hasn't been doing a lot of zombification lately because we took its privileges away. Instead, it's been annoying us by stealing the gender switching stone and doing TikTok dances. So, I mean, they're both just basic zombies. They're not particularly ambulatory or interesting zombies. They're just bog standard zombies. So I guess it just depends on how many there are more of. Radius, thank you for donating again. Also, who would win, the Super Ball or SCP-106? Well, here's the deal. The Super Ball bounces faster every time, which means when it gets fast enough, it is like a bullet. But 106 is not stopped by bullets. So yeah, the 018, the Super Ball, will pierce through 106 just fine. But also 106 will then be just fine. So, not much of a fight there. Torin, thank you for donating again, but you asked the same question about the zombie fight, so same answer I gave before, and thank you for donating again. Site 42 staff, I just want to take this moment to alert you. We are currently at 250 likes. Now, 05 Apprentice America said that at 500 likes, they would donate 1,000 memberships. So, we are 70 minutes out of a 180-minute stream. That means we are less than halfway done, but we're more than halfway on the likes now. So, let's call their bluff, huh? Hit that like button and let's make 05 Apprentice America squirm. All the way to being demoted to Junior Researcher America again. Silver Runner, thank you for donating again. Do you know the podcast Behind the Bastards? It sounds familiar. I feel as if I've heard of this. I'm checking their YouTube channel to see what their, Yeah, I have never actually watched it. I just heard the name, and it's an interesting sounding name. But I'm not familiar with their work. Mobile Task Force Captain Hikari, welcome to overseership here at Site 42. Congratulations on your promotion. Thank you for upping the level of your membership. We appreciate your membership and your service, and I look forward to your leadership in the battle against the White Names. Torin, thank you for donating again. If you showed SCP-500 to 049, how would 049 react to it considering it cures all diseases? Would it... 049 is an SCP, which means it is an anomaly, which means it is an object, not a person. 049 is not a he, nor a she. 049 is an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Would it claim it could cure the pestilence? I would not be shocked if it would understand that 500 would claim that it could cure the pestilence, because it can cure anything. But then 049 would start requesting iterations of 500 to experiment on, and we would not grant that because there's so few pills remaining. So we're not going to let 049 go willy-nilly testing on a pill of SCP-500. No, we're not. Blackwood, I did not forget my own lore. I just didn't know that the zombies were designated -2s. This is like when we talk about SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA, and we are talking about the employees. I always call them -1s, but they're actually -2s. Getting the dash wrong isn't a crime. There's too many numbers, and there's too many things. Yes, I did not forget that Raymond Ham was turned into a zombie either. I just forgot that the zombies were designated -2s. That's all I forgot. Ah! You're not gonna trump me on this. Bah and humbug to you, good sir. Can I get clearance to put a fursuit in SCP-914 on very fine setting? No, you can't, because we've already run that experiment. I am fairly certain. I am fairly certain that we have run this experiment. I just have to search SkipNet real quick. Oh, wait. Okay, that was putting 100 teddy bears into 914 on very fine, and it became a fursuit. So we didn't put the fursuit in, we just put something in that became a fursuit. That's different. Okay, wait a minute, I'm still searching. Still searching the database. I am now interested, I am intrigued. I'm nearly certain we did this. No, we didn't do it there. Let me use the search function of the database itself. Fursuit. Dun, dun. So here's the deal. I kind of want to try it because it doesn't look like we've experimented with that on 914. But that said, I do know that it was either Dr. Bob, SCP Explained, or both that pretended that we did. And the funny thing about it is that SCP Explained Story and Animation has this video from November 2024 about putting a fursuit into 914. Now here's the deal. That's not on the wiki. That is not canon to the SCP database. But I also remember searching for this and discovering something extremely strange. And that was that when I looked for that evidence of that on the wiki, I found that Dr. Bob, on one of their foreign language channels, because they have foreign language versions of Dr. Bob, they had the same video as SCP Explained Story and Animation did. So here's my question. Is Dr. Bob and SCP Explained Story and Animation, are they the same channel somehow? Is Dr. Bob stealing from this other content creating farm company? I don't know. This was really weird when I discovered it. And I'm still curious about what the situation is. Because either they're working together or one is stealing from the other. We have done that experiment with a partial. The tail got fused to a D-class's spine. It was pretty rough. I think the head was a cognitohazard. Puppet Boy, thank you for that information. Can you tell me which log that is in? The problem with searching 914 is there's so gosh darn many logs, it's impossible to search. Okay, I need to refresh the chat and come back to this. Doc is the new H-Bomber guy, I suppose. Oh, dear Lord, H-Bomber guy, the legend. Just to be compared in any manner is a cool thing. Is anyone allowed to add on to 914 or just the OG author? I believe anyone can add to it, which is why it's so gosh darn long. It is a collaborative log. But of course, your entry has to be good and interesting by the merits of the community. If someone sees your entry and they don't like it, and enough people are like, yeah, that kind of sucks, it could get deleted. Cullivan, you want a time check? We are approximately 80 minutes into a 180-minute stream. So we are an hour 20 in, we have an hour 40 left. Okay, checking on the chat. Zarian, thank you for donating again on top of your membership join. Hey, any tips on getting back to your reality? I'm being held at SCP Federation. Oh, geez, those guys. Yeah, okay. You're going to have to find a dimensional door. Now, if you got there through one, it must still be there. So wherever they're holding you, you're going to have to make your way through. Gosh, those guys are kind of jerks. Do your best to act carefully, because you do not want to lead them back to our dimensional coordinates. That would be really annoying for us. Grandpa Nurgle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a charcuterie board on your way past the commissary. What is your most and least favorite SCPs? What makes you love and hate them? You know what? Let me, for the first time in a while, discuss my favorite SCPs and why. Now, I will tell you this beforehand. I don't really have a least favorite SCP. Something about the way that a collaborative arts community like this works and my philosophy on enjoying the creation of more art in the world, even SCPs that don't really appeal to me, I still see their artistic merit, and I still think they are worthy despite the fact that they're not my cup of tea. Which is, by the way, a philosophy on art that I wish a lot more people would take, instead of being jerks and hating on things that are good, just not their flavor. For instance, SCP-2721, the trans Homestuck satellite. It's actually a very well-written article in multiple ways. And if you look at our friend of the channel, Radiger's video, breaking down self-inserts and SCP-2721 in particular, smashing good video. Radiger is the best SCP YouTuber of all time. I cannot get enough people to subscribe to her. But the article's very well done in multiple voices, in multiple ways. But because people hear the subject matter is trans people and Homestuck, they lose their shit without even giving the article a chance. And those people are losers. Now, I, for one, don't really like that article because I don't like cringe storylines. Cringe stuff makes me cringe uncomfortably. I can't even watch The Office, guys. The Office is just like, ugh, it's gross. Because I don't like cringe humor. And the Tumblr section of that article is really, really well written in the voice of a cringe Tumblr fan. And therefore, I can't stand to read it. It makes my skin crawl. But that being said, I understand it's doing exactly what it intends, and it's doing a good job. Therefore, I can say the article's good, despite the fact it's not my cup of tea. Moral of the story, rule 0 of the internet, as well as of the SCP Wiki, don't be a dick. But, now, my favorite SCPs and why I enjoy them. So, normally I tell you my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, but since you donated and you asked what I like about them, I'll just hit this down real quick. 3999 is my favorite because I love surreal meta bullshit. I love when articles break the format. I love how it keeps rewriting its own history mid-story. I love how it's a blatant self-insert of the author going through a panic attack for trying to write a good article for an SCP contest and failing and scrapping their article again and again. If you go way far back on my channel, I did a Sherm's Declassified Skip Survival Guide about SCP-3999, breaking it down, and you will hear the love, even if the audio quality isn't good because that was way early in my career. So yes, that is why I enjoy that article. Also, it's why I enjoy books like House of Leaves. Then, SCP-3043, Murphy Law? Give me a break. That character is fantastic. Obviously, it's bad. The author says it's a take on a bad film noir. But it's so cheesy. And I love when things are cheesy. I love when things are earnest and goofy. Just like they talked about with a Peacemaker. Where, yeah, you gotta get past the cheesy 80s glam rock to get to the real character. And so, I love the camp, Puppet Boy says. I agree completely. So, Murphy Law, hilarious. I love it. 008-J, Jeff? I don't know why Jeff is so funny to me, but Jeff is goddamn hilarious. I love this nerdy little guy accidentally breaching Foundation secret facilities, and Commander Price is always the guy who sees him, tries to catch him, and fails. It's so funny. Director Ethan, remember, Jeff with a G-E-O. Jeff is 3008-J. SCP Spooky-J? Okay, I can have an immature laugh at a skeleton that yells at you all the time and acts like a fucking jerk. Spooky-J is hilarious. Desk, you did not kick Jeff's ass. You lunged at Jeff and you gave Jeff a slight bruise after you crashed into a wall because you barely nicked Jeff, but that was enough for you to deserve punishment anyways. 5031, yet another murder monster. Oh my god. It starts off and it's just a retelling of the original Series 1, ooh, we put a spooky monster in a box. And then it unfolds to be so much more and so heartwarming and about what the Foundation can do if we allocate our resources and actually take care of the anomalies. It is so good, 5031. Meanwhile, 5175, Death Knife. A weeaboo Paul Blart Mall cop gets an anomalous dagger with the soul of a dead samurai. And why is the whole soul of a dead samurai inside of a Moroccan knife? Can anyone tell me why a Japanese warrior's soul is bound to a Moroccan knife? That doesn't make sense. And now we got to teach this Paul Blart guy to do his job and help the Foundation. That's so funny. And finally, no, not finally, 5320, our Lord and Savior, the infinite fish that just goes on forever, forever may it rain, preach and pray to its infinitude, is just a nice workplace comedy. It's the kind of workplace comedy I enjoy at the Foundation. And I love the idea of a whole site having an inside joke that makes the bosses really scared because they think we've actually become a cult, but no, we're just goofing around. That is very funny. And yes, you're very funny, Junior Researcher HLG, for trolling that it's a loop when it's not a loop. And finally, 8980. For everyone who said, oh yeah, Dr. Sherman likes funny SCPs. And I do like funny SCPs. I like funny SCPs a lot. But 8980 is not funny. 8980 is one of the most fucked up things I have ever read. Yeah, that's good writing. So yeah, that's my favorite SCPs and why I enjoy them. Old Bowl, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a bowl of chicken soup on your way past the commissary. Good almost midnight to you, my good sir. Good almost midnight to you as well. We are currently at... Did I thank you for being a member as well? I've been streaming for 90 minutes, and I'm not used to streaming long, so I'm getting a little brain dead, but I'm doing my best. Yes. Thank you for being a member as well. Enjoy your soup. And yes, we currently, as a time check, are 90 minutes into a 3-hour stream. So we have 90 minutes left, staff. 90 minutes left. Intern Ackerman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some garlic bread on your way past the commissary. Could the main character from Blasphemous be an SCP? Desk, thank you for getting me the wiki article for the game Blasphemous. Metroidvania game. Main character is Custodia, or the game is set in Custodia, Land of Religion. Land is Hollow. Protagonist is the Penitent One, the sole survivor of the Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow. Wears a mask and a helmet that consists of barbed wire and a pointed helmet similar to a capirote. His sword originated, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the question is, does the Penitent One have anomalous abilities? Because if so, then it would be anomalous. Easily so. And because of that, while it can't be an SCP because it's from another fandom, it is still anomalous. A unique sword, blah, 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 skins, trivia. This doesn't mention any powers. If it's a normal human, then it's not anomalous. But if it does have anomalous abilities, it would be an anomaly, but not an SCP, because it doesn't exist on the SCP Wiki. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again, this time through the Super Chat. Dr. Bob said Gears put one of the SCP-500 pills in the machine on Very Fine. Yes. Isn't that what resulted in the locket? SCP... the locket. SCP-427 was created on the fine setting, not the very fine setting. Okay. So now the question becomes, did we ever do that very fine test? SCP-500, SCP-914, very fine. It says in the SCP-500 document that Gears only requested a pill for 914 one time, and that was the 427 on fine, not very fine. So I think you may have gotten a little misconstrued on that situation. Have you heard of SCP-3312? Oh yes, Intern Sires. I am quite familiar with the SCP codename OWO What's This? It is a cognitohazard created by an anomalous group of interest, or one member of that group. And they made a cognitohazard that if you are a furry, then you are unaffected, it doesn't matter. But if you're not a furry, then it hypnotizes you into wanting to be a furry. But the creator fucked up the cognitohazard, and so instead of making you into a normal furry, it makes you go frickin' feral. And so we had to put together a mobile task force of furries, which we call the Mobile Task Furries. And they have their tactical fursuits, and they gear up and they take care of people who are infected by the cognitohazard. As you can see, I am quite familiar with this anomaly. Dr. Sherman, have you read the 9K Con of La Poo-Poos? Very good article. Desk just told me that you guys went over this on a Desk stream. I am interested in checking it out. I have not gone over it yet. A.A. Blackwood, Dr. Sherman is not a furry. Just because I am familiar with the situation around the article in containment about furries does not make me myself a furry. Oh, I remember that SCP. I want to be on that mobile task force because they won't pay for my fursuit otherwise. Of course we won't, Intern Kai. It is not a business expense unless it's necessary. Site 42 staff, by the way, we are currently, as I said, about 93 minutes into this 3-hour stream. We're also at 284 likes. Perhaps you should hit that like button if you haven't, and get us up over 300 likes, because we're still on the quest to make over 05 Apprentice America look silly by over-promising on their membership donation. And what a moment, as I'm saying this, 05 Apprentice America has something to say about this. Fine, I admit it, I was jealous of Java name and wanted to make myself look cool, but ended up being a douchebag about it. So after the 13 days are over, I'll demote myself to Apprentice. Well, I wouldn't say you were a douchebag. I think that's putting it a little far. I mean, when I fly too close to the sun, yeah, overconfidence is fun, but don't feel bad about it. We're all just having a happy goof here, after all. We're having a good time. No one actually is mad at you or anything, I promise. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Hey boss, you should get some frozen honeycomb after stream. You know, I'm interested. Probably has a satisfying crunch. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Okay, misremembered, sorry. No big deal, trust me. I forgot that the 049-2 were zombies earlier. So, yeah, that's, no big deal. If the screaming tree can't scream, does that mean it's a regular tree? Intern Blanchard, let me fill you in a little bit. The first thing you need to know is that in real life science, not a fictional story, real life science, all plants scream when you harm them. If you pull flower petals, the flowers scream. If you cut grass, millions of little plants screaming. Now, they scream on a frequency we can't hear, which is a good thing, because if we could hear the screaming, we might all go mad. But, as I was saying, all normal, natural plants scream when injured. So the problem with 4521 is that it doesn't scream. It is completely silence. And in fact, anyone standing near it reports hearing an ear-piercing silence. Think about that. Think about a silence so silent that it makes you mad. This already exists in real life too. This isn't fake. If you go into one of those acoustic rooms that is completely silent, so to the point that you can hear your own heartbeat in your ears, people start to lose it, man. And so think about that, but it's caused by this tree. And this tree could stop causing that pain to people if it just started screaming. Wouldn't you think it's a good idea to get that tree to stop hurting people and start screaming? I'm not the only one who thinks this, okay? I'm not the crazy one. You people who think I don't know what I'm talking about are the crazy ones. Get your head out of your asses. This tree is a menace, and we will fix it. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Actually, it's like a goopy frozen treat. Oh, okay. Kind of like frozen honey, but it's still got a liquidness. Okay, I'm interested. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. I found the fursuit test log, 914-1062. Thank you for that research, 1062. SCP. Alright, here we are. 1061, 1062. One pair of synthetic wolf ears, one pair of synthetic wolf paws, one synthetic wolf tail. Yes, I did remember this was a thing. Thank you for finding it. The fact that it doesn't actually use the word fursuit is why we couldn't keyword search it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your intrepid research. We're going to attend the Alamo City Furry Invasion 2019 2 days from now. It's a long day road trip, and we left our letters for unpaid leave on Dr. Veritas's desk. Signed, Junior Researcher Kai. Junior Researcher Kai, are you still in the chat? Was that you who did this experiment? Fess up. Fess up. If it was you, what are the odds that two intern Kais are frickin' furries? How does this happen? What are the odds? One pair of wolf ears on find appeared unchanged, but when worn corresponds to the mood of researcher Vivek's emotions. Wolf ears apparently only work with researcher Vivek. So I'm somewhat surprised it hasn't fused to his hair yet. Note, rough, get it? Put the wolf paws in, and the wolf paws got retractable claws. Put the wolf tail in, and suddenly anomalously fused with the researcher's coccyx upon being moved to her lower back. So it's irremovable. One apparently unchanged wolf head on very fine. So you did this one on very fine. After the last one, that was a bad idea, I'm sure. Noted that researcher Vivek temporarily began behaving like an actual canine until the headpiece was removed. Hate that. But at least it didn't get stuck. Okay, so yes, we know what happened there. And it certainly didn't do what the animation channel said it did, that's for sure. Or did it? I don't even remember what they said right now. I could be completely lying. Zarian, thank you for donating again. Stuck in the Wanderer's Library now. What now? Well, get some books and bring them back. Come on. They've been kicking me out of that library every time I try and get in. They somehow see through all of my masterful disguises, and they keep moving the door so I can't find it. So if you made it in, bring back some knowledge. Let us know the secrets of the library. Find some good books and make your way back home. I feel like Dr. Sherman is a furry. Intern Glenn, har har har. The closest I've ever been to being a furry is I was a high school mascot. So I did wear an approximation of a fursuit, but it was a mascot costume. Completely different. Mobile Task Force Captain Hikari. You know, should I still call you Captain Hikari even though you're an overseer now? I'm a little torn on how to address you. Let me know about that when you got the time. But Dr. Sherman, there's been an incident in the labs with the crystalline samples I brought back. One of these citizens cracked one open and, well, we need a cleanup down here, sir. Well, what happened? Is the researcher okay? What came out of it? Give me more details. Furry adjacent, but not a furry. We'd welcome you if you were one, though. Well, thank you, Puppet Boy. I have nothing actively against furries in any sense of the word. They are a very fun-loving community, it seems. They certainly have the resources of gods for the amount of work and money they put into their fursuits, as well as the amount of money they have to commission artists in the world. So, God bless them and their supportive artists. And by God in this case, I mean Uber driver Jesus, because wherever they get an Uber, they deserve some sweet wheels. I bet that Dr. Sherman's masterful disguises are just him in those comical eyeball glasses with springs and a face mustache. Hey, you can look at any Dr. Sherman video with the hashtag Wanderers Library, and you can see my masterful disguises are so much better than that, thank you. So much better than that. Checking something real quick. Dark Duality, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. Yo, Dr. Sherman, took a cup of tea instead. Better for my health. By the way, 173 and Yellow iPod are having a staring contest of the commissary, so send a team. Yes, someone please relieve the iPod. It is unethical to make them sit there staring at that thing, especially if that offal that 173 excretes gets too close to them. That's just unsanitary. Amen, you're allowed to talk about Jesus, don't be scared to. Well, Flames of Darkness, which Jesus do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Bread Jesus, SCP-3305? Do you want to talk about Vor Jesus, SCP-5991? The Jesus that appears if a human being eats an entire Christian Bible with no condiments, and then it unhinges his jaw, swallows you whole, and sends you to the bigger on the inside Jesus Land theme park that exists in its stomach. Which Jesus do you want to talk about? Because we have 4 Gzi in containment. Also, Dr. Light, the one who's a woman. Well, yes, but we do not have Dr. Light in contingment, so I don't count her. Is there a way to make my site called Site 451 canon? Well, Intern Lion, there's guides on the wiki for making anything canon, but technically, anything is canon if it's on the SCP wiki. So all you have to do is go onto the wiki, write a successful SCP, and say it's contained at Site 451. That's all you gotta do. The thing is, you have to be a good enough writer to, successfully write for the SCP wiki. That way, your article survives the voting process. Once you get it on the wiki, it's canon, man. Now, if you want it to be more prominent, like people want their mobile task force to be known and used, people want their character to be known and used, then you got to put in more effort. You got to write a bunch of stories about them. Intern Mendoza, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Intern Jax says, I made my own SCP. Can you rate it, please? Well, Intern Jax, unfortunately, I am out of the business of critiquing people's articles, except for very rare exceptions for close friends of mine. And the reason for that is because Site 42 has over 1 million followers, many of which who want to write their own SCPs. And obviously, the SCP process includes getting critique from other SCP authors so that you can improve your article and get it wiki ready. And if I were to do critique for everybody's writing who asked me, I would not get anything done. So unfortunately, as much as I enjoy the process of writing for the wiki, it's just not something I have the time to do writing or critique these days. But you should get critique from other SCP authors before you upload to make sure they succeed. What's the strongest and weakest SCP? Well, Intern Cup, the strongest SCP is easy. That's SCP-6101. The first line of its description is literally SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. So, it's there in black and white ink. It's that easy. Now for the weakest, I'm gonna go with Pesterbot, SCP-1370. That guy is just so funny and lame. Pesterbot is a gas. America, real talk. Please do not feel terrible about saying you donate 1,000 memberships and then you're not going to. Now, you should not do that because you don't want to put yourself up to things you can't do. That's just a lesson in real life. But consider this a learning opportunity on that front. And the thing about guilt is the right amount of guilt is okay, but the wrong amount of guilt is detrimental. I should feel bad if I stole something from the store that I shouldn't have. But let's say that I did it to feed my family bread. If I stole bread to feed my starving family, then I can feel a little less bad about it. If I stole something for worse reasons, stupider reasons, I should feel more guilt. But over-feeling guilt just saddles you with anxiety that makes you make worse decisions in the long run because you are emotionally compromised. So relaxify yourself a little bit, take a breath. No one here is mad at you, and so don't feel that mad at yourself. Just don't make the same mistake in the future, that's all. And take that, all of you, into your lives. Feel the right amount of guilt is a tool, but over guilt, detrimental. Zarian, thank you for donating again. I'm still here at the Wanderer's Library. Even found books on how to kill SCP-682. Very interesting. I even got an ID, but no door. Oh, don't let that ID trick you. The Wanderer's Library does not have ID cards. That is actually bait to keep you stuck there. Get rid of that thing. Opinion on SCP-5776, the scariest SCP ever, it's so scary. Well, Intern Vidal, here is your opportunity to wow me. SCP-5776, you say? What is the code name of this entity? It's not listed. Sometimes it doesn't do that. 5776 is listed as 100% most definitely a Keter in bold. Interesting, okay. We are quite coming to bat for this even on the database. Object class Keter, disruption class Amida, risk class critical, so it's level 5 top secret, level 5 everything. The following file describes a highly info-hazardous entity. Please proceed with caution. Well, good thing I've got such a strong cognitive resistance value. 5776 is an extremely powerful entity capable of causing devastating amounts of destruction to human civilization. Pretty terrifying if I say so myself. This is very unprofessional document writing. So it seems SCP-5776's primary goal is to destroy everything it can, and seemingly nothing is able to prevent it completing this goal if it is not contained. So we need to make sure it doesn't get out. O_O. Who the hell is writing this document? Despite what you may have been told, it is 100% not a commonplace food product. Ah! Son of a bitch! Close it! Close it! Whew. Oh man. I input my credentials to see the next side of that document. Okay. You got a point. That thing's pretty frickin' spooky. Huh. Huh. Okay. Okay. Listen. 5776 is sitting right there on the SkipNet database if you want to know what's in there. Okay. Catching my breath. Catching my breath. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. First, I want to tell you congratulations on getting 3 times the likes as viewers. An excellent achievement. But furthermore, let me allow you to change the goal of the stream now. Earlier, the goal was 500 likes because we were all ripping on America for their boisterousness, which now, let's instead change the reason of that goal. I want to see if you can hit 500 likes, because Java Name previously challenged that they would give a large amount of subscriptions, gift memberships, if we hit 500 likes. Now, they changed their goal because they didn't think we could do it. They took the goal down because they didn't think we could hit 500 likes on a stream. Do you want Java Name to be right about that? Are we so weak that we need to have handicap goals? I don't think so. So hit that like button. You have approximately 65 minutes to get up to 500 likes to prove Java Name that Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, does not need to be coddled. That we are capable here. Intern Wave, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. So I talked to Bob, and he said that Very Fine gives anomalous powers. So if you put a pill of SCP-500 into 914 on Very Fine, instead of a pill that heals anything, it's a pill that gives you powers? How does it decide what powers you get? And I guess we can't study that more because we'll run out of 500, and we need the 500s. So I guess we figured out who took it and what power did they get. That's the only one we're going to do. So how'd that result turn out? Eloise, the SCP Foundation is an adult community. You have to be 18 plus to join the wiki. You have to be 18 plus to join the Site 42 Discord server. Cursing is fucking common. Bitchin', hell, just don't spam. Be reasonable about your cursing. But yes, you're allowed to curse in the chat. Zarian, thank you for donating again. I meant library code. I meant library card. Okay, not an ID. Good. And I'm told you are banned here. Yeah, I know. Honestly, how are they talking to you when you're not getting banned, since you work for us? That's what I want to know. Hello, all the new viewers. Just in case you are just getting here, as always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation, and we are here for Dr. Sherman's Office Hours. In this case, a 3-hour stream where I explain to you the mysteries of the SCP Foundation and answer your questions. Now, obviously, we are 2 hours into a 3-hour stream, so that leaves us 1 hour left. We have been streaming daily for over 5 months, soon to be 6 months. And so make sure to hit that subscription bell, or if you're in the Site 42 Discord server, you can gain the live alert role, which I ping at the beginning of every stream. Dr. Sherman, did you know SCP-5320 is a snailfish? I didn't. I am scared of snailfish. SCP-5320, our long and infinite lord that just goes on forever, is a snailfish? Yeah. Most resembles a snailfish, but without a visible head or tail. So, yeah. SCP-5320... no, I want to look up a snailfish now. Images. Come on, load the picture. So yeah, imagine this little guy, but infinite. It just keeps going on forever and ever and ever. SCP-5320 is that. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Me and Frog want to know if you were able to give SCP-067 to Steve. We are currently in day 2 of the security check of the anomaly to make sure the Chaos Insurgency hasn't booby-trapped it. Usually this process takes about 3 days. So, day after tomorrow, we will finally be able to give Steve the pen and start the process of writing out his entire life story, which, to be fair, Steve is 30 years old. It's going to take a minute. So, it'll take a little time for that to get to modern day, at which point we can get some answers. is coming. Everyone saying that fish is cute is wrong. Well, now you know how I feel about SCP-729-J. When people call that thing cute, I know they're wrong. Engineer, we're not going to believe your lies. SCP-067 is on camera in our facility. You're not going to bluff your way out of this. If you saw SCP-3008, what you doing? Well, intern abandoned. I would stand outside and not go in to the infinite IKEA that the door moves and you get trapped in there. I would simply not go inside. I wish more of our researchers were intelligent like me. Wait, the door moves? Yes, Intern Hunter. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's why most people get trapped inside SCP-3008. When you walk into SCP-3008, you are now in the Infinite IKEA, but really you're just inside the front door. And so, as long as you can see the front door, you still have a chance to go back out and escape. But as soon as the door leaves eyeshot, it disappears. It moves somewhere else. And so let's say you put a rope to make your way back, it would be cut when the door vanishes. So yeah, you would not be able to get out of there because the door would be gone. Intern all meme. Oh my god, hi? Well, oh my god, hi to you. Welcome to today's stream. Wait, Dr. Sherman. What happens if you put 729-J in 914 on verified? I absolutely don't want to know. The odds of that thing turning into a fucking kaiju is too high for me. A good friend of mine got a job at Waffle House, and I think it wants to take her as a new host. Should I be scared for her? Intern Wolfie, we at the Foundation handle the coronation ceremony of the host each year. It's something that we've got to pay attention to because if the Waffle House needs a new host, things have trouble. So it's our job to maintain containment by initiating a new host. So don't worry, we handle that, and if your friend gets crowned, well, she shouldn't have taken the job in the first place. You're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you, All Meme. I'm happy to be making what I can to entertain the public, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let us continue to make awesome content so we can bring people into the SCP fandom, and so they will help us support the SCP Wiki's authors, animators, filmmakers, game devs, merch makers, etc. That way, we can get more and more people, some of whom will either be very rich or professionals in the arts, and they will help us make SCP movies and games and stuff like that. I'm not naming any names, But I do know a very prominent film director who has worked with a certain comic book film universe who at least knows about SCP. They're not a super fan, but they know we exist. A friend of mine. I'm a friend of a friend, 2 degrees from this guy, and I know this. So, I'm just saying, we're infiltrating, and eventually, we're gonna have the funding to snipe these accomplished people and let them make SCP stuff for us. Desk, it is not Kevin Bacon. Would be nice, though. Would be nice. I really want the SCP... I really want the 2010 to 2022 SCP fandom back really bad. Well, that's only 3 years ago. What's changed in the last 3 years? Because really, not a whole lot has changed since 2022 to 2025. How long to get 500 likes? You have, as a time check, 54 minutes. 54 minutes to get to the 500 like benchmark so we can prove Java name that we ain't no bitches. Zarian, thank you for donating again. Wanderer's Library still, Wi-Fi is great. Also, they said my book ain't here yet. What did you do to get banned? I work for the SCP Foundation. They literally call us the jailers. They're not fans of us. That's all it took. I didn't do anything. What do you think of SCP-087-1? Needs to brush its teeth. That thing stank. Dark Duality, thank you for buying another Ko-Fi, where the donations have a much lower fee than YouTube Super Chats. I appreciate you going through the effort. I found out that the object, no matter what it is, if put in there on Very Fine, becomes anomalies. So if a non-anomalous toy gets put in, we get an anomaly toy. And if a person, redacted by an 05. That's not exactly true. Not everything Very Fine that comes out of 914 is anomalous. At least I'm pretty sure. 914 logs. If I look up Very Fine. Okay, well, in the main log, Very Fine makes things into anomalies every time. But there's got to be something in the extended logs. There's got to be something in the extended logs that is not turned into an anomaly if put in on Very Fine. It can't be everything. Actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, it certainly could be everything. Yup. Yup. Okay, no. 1 pound of raw ground beef just turned into 2 half-pound flank steaks, well done with light drizzle of gravy. That's not anomalous. Okay, we got one. I was not wrong. I was in fact right. I was technically correct. The best kind of correct. Plush Showdown. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Hashtag Dr. Farnsworth. Excuse me, desk. That is a Hermes Conrad quote. Miss me with misattributing Futurama quotes, thank you. And honestly, it's a quote to Hermes Conrad. Conrad from one of the bureaucracy guys. It's not even Hermes that said it. Humph. Get a fucking job. Intern Barber, you are just kind of whiny today, aren't you? I work for the SCP Foundation. And if you want to go even further, I'm an actor. I am currently doing my job. Why don't you stop being a piss baby? Torin, thank you for donating again. My heart goes out to those who died at Site 19. Rest in peace. Oh yeah, that is a lot of casualties at most Foundation sites, so yeah. Don't worry, desk. I hid the loser. We don't have to see their ugly mug anymore. Do you have a cat? Intern Epling, we have several cats roaming around Site 42 at any given time. Torin, thank you for donating again. Thank God for Foxtrot Unit 1. Saved a lot of lives. Ah, the good old FU. They're always there when the task is necessary. What are the cats' names? Well, Intern Hunter, the cats we currently have at Site 42, allegedly, are known as Charlemagne, Musaka, Theo, and Gracie. Zarian, thank you for buying a coffee for your next donation. I appreciate you going through the effort so that we pay a smaller fee on the donation. We appreciate you making the effort. Zarian here, Wonders Library folks say they know I'm with SCP Foundation, but I haven't made a scene yet, so they'll give me a chance. I mean, fair enough, but again, did you SEAL Team 6 into their shit? Not at all. I just walked in like normal. No. I'm very curious as to why they're being nice to you. Whatever they offer you, be careful. They might be trying to get you to be a double agent, and I don't appreciate that. Josie is currently not at Site 42, Dr. Cullivan. Josie is... Where's Josie right now? Nope, that's not the right designation, Dr. Sherman. You looked at Mr. Fish again. Josie is currently at Site 17. Torin, thank you for donating again. Let's hope the O5s don't find this channel. Oh, many overseers are familiar with my broadcasts. All of my broadcasts are sanctioned by the SCP Foundation. I wouldn't go against protocol, you know. These broadcasts are only broadcast to a select group of people. We have deals with YouTube's parent company, Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, if you didn't know. And we go through encrypted algorithms that only broadcast to a rare amount of people. Either you're an SCP Foundation employee, which keep up the good work. You are a double agent working in another group of interest, in which case, make sure not to blow your cover by watching this stream. Or You might be a sleeper agent who has just been awoken to the fact that you work for the Foundation. In that case, your dossier of instructions is under your chair. Good luck, agent. And finally, in universes where the masquerade is broken, where the veil of secrecy is lifted and everyone knows about anomalies in the Foundation, I broadcast to the public as a sort of public relations message, so that people get used to the good work we do at the Foundation and don't turn against us. So yes, we are not breaking secrecy with these broadcasts, believe me. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Was told about someone making salsa out of a dog. Well, they might be testing the salsa hammer on dogs now. I mean, I don't feel like dog salsa would taste particularly good, but the salsa hammer could be used to make dog salsa. That is possible. Now, here's the deal. Why would you make dog salsa? Seems a little cruel, seems a little tasteless. Meanwhile, we've already done human salsa, which was not a good time. If you're interested in more information on that, check out SCP-3794, codename the Salsa Hammer. Hammer Down. Do you know about the Quiet Days thing? If that's what it's called. Yes, Quiet Days is a tale on the wiki. It is the story of a universe where all anomalies one day just stopped being anomalous. Every anomaly just stopped being anomalous all at once, and essentially the Foundation had to disband because there was nothing else to do. It's a very melancholic tale. We have a reading of it on the channel if you want to listen to it. Torin, thank you for donating again. Oh, thank God. Yes, we are not breaching secrecy. Good for us. Hi, I love SCP-049 is my 5, by the way. Hi, I love SCP-049 is my fave, by the way. Well, Intern Random, I am glad you enjoy SCP, but you do know that SCP-049 killed my best friend, right? Read the article, Dr. Raymond Ham, my good buddy old pal. Yeah, I'm Dr. Sherman from that article. So, yeah. We've mellowed on the hatred over the years, but still. Time check. Dr. Frogman, we are currently 140 minutes into this 180-minute stream. That means we are just about 40 minutes until the end of stream. And by the way, with that 40 minutes, to hit that 500 like goal, you need to hit 120 more likes. So if you haven't hit like yet, hit that like button because JavaName thought that we couldn't get 500 likes in a stream. I would like to prove JavaName that you don't need to be babied, Mobile Task Force Psi-42. I think the team, codenamed the Signal Boosters, can hit that goal with ease. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. For Fan Art Friday, is crochet plushies okay? As long as they are crochet plushies of canon SCP doctors and or anomalies, yes, that's just fine. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. Which department is the most understaffed? Need any trash experts for cleanup of tasty messes? Well, facilities and janitorial can always use some more people because accidents happen when dealing with anomalous detritus. Meanwhile, the Department of Achromatic Abatement handles most anomalous garbage disposal. But, I mean, they could always use some more people, so feel free to transfer if you want to be an anomalous garbage man. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Boss, how do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. Oh, okay. Not bad. Not bad. Sorry, American Desk made a dad joke. I wanted to as well. Well, we always love a good dad joke around these parts. Ta-da-ta-da. Ta-ta-ta-ta-da. What are your thoughts on SCP-008-J? Intern Somni, that is one of my favorite SCPs, so my opinion is pretty good. Jeff is a nice guy. Right, refreshing the chat. It's having a little bit of a glitch on the dashboard. Has SCP-049 been observed utilizing the scientific method, or does remember, not he, it. 049 is an anomaly, which means it's an object, not a person. 049 is an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Or does it only ever just make more instances of SCP-049-1? It's a little bit of both. 049 does use the scientific method in ways, but it's warped by the whole zombie making thing. So it does have actual useful information from time to time, but it keeps doing the zombie thing, and so we can't trust it to experiment, which is why its privileges have been revoked. Dr. Sherman, looking like you've lost some weight, looking better every day. Well, I appreciate that, Wells SCP. Obviously, an entire winter on the couch with a messed up ankle did not do much for my gym gains. But I've been doing little bits of rehab and yoga every day, and we're going to get back on that Foundation Fitness Initiative train, and given time, I will be back in fighting shape. It'll be great. And even a reminder, being heavier, the number on the scale doesn't really matter because, you know, muscle weighs more than fat. So you can be very, very heavy but still be in shape. The trick of it is mostly focusing on your capabilities. How far can you run? How far can you jump? How much can you lift? Can you do a pull-up? Can you pull yourself up the side of a fence to save yourself from a zombie apocalypse? That's what you need to be in shape for. So make sure that you're exercising with the right goal. It's not all about losing weight. It's about physical capability. I have seen some very, very large people do some very, very sick gymnastics. So make sure you're focusing on your goals being the skill gains, the strength gains. It's a much healthier mindset for the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. By the way, is Steve okay? Could I bring him some stew? So Steve is kind of quiet right now. It's hard to have a lot to talk about when you don't really remember who you are or anyone you work with before. It's kind of depressing. Yeah, the guy could probably use some stew. Good evening, Dr. Sherman. I have a question regarding the supposed Halloween store, Spirit Halloween. What do you know about it? Is it an anomaly, or are they just an eclectic group? Well, I looked that up on the database to get you some concrete answers. Deesland, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, so let's look for Spirit Halloween on the SCP database. I would be absolutely shocked if there wasn't a reference to it. The log of unexplained locations. Control F. Spirit. Unexplained location UE 678324. Description. It used to be described as a cemetery with approximately 400 occupied plots. Anyone who has ever worked at a Spirit Halloween store will be compelled to replace the headstones with decorative Halloween headstone props, regardless of the time of year. But this was scratched out and corrected. An oversized Spirit Halloween store open year-round, which has been built over a large cemetery previously in the area. It is unknown, even to Foundation personnel monitoring the area, when the store appeared in the cemetery's place. All decorative headstones sold at this location have the names of people previously buried at the cemetery, and the faces on several horror masks in the store bear an uncanny resemblance to them. The store is otherwise non-anomalous. Date of discovery, November 23rd, 2024. Location, Salt Lake City, Utah, United States. Security protocol for the former graveyard used to be. Undercover Foundation personnel working at the cemetery's undertakers and landscapers are advised to deter anyone from entering with decorative headstones. Any decorative headstones found are to be removed at once. Anyone found taking headstones from the location are to be brought in for questioning and administered Class A amnestics. But once the change occurred, Foundation personnel working as employees at the store are to confiscate any and all items that bear resemblance to those once buried in the cemetery. The Foundation is working in cooperation with law enforcement and Spirit Halloween to determine where these items are being produced. Interesting. All right, and there were some other mentions. SCP-4410 is a phenomenon affecting party costume retail chain Party City, Toys R Us, which is scratched out because they closed, and Spirit Halloween on the last 2 weeks of October annually. Costumes will anomalously appear in random stores of the affected retail chains in North America. The anomaly appears more frequently in cities that have a fan convention of any kind during that time that 4110 is active. All costumes of average commercial quality and made out of non-anomalous products. At least 6 variants have been confirmed as of writing. All SCP-4110-1 instances affect the perception of humans observing the users, who are now designated SCP-4110-2 in different ways depending on the variant of the costume. Costumes like the Inconspicuous Investigator or Lizar the Terrible affect visual perception of observers, while costumes like Wilford the Werewolf and the Automaton affect perception of sounds created by the anomalous wearer. The anomaly will only activate when wearing the entire set that comprises the costume. So that is not beholden to Spirit Halloween before, but it is an anomaly affecting them. So there is that. Site 42 staff, I want you to know, you're 2 likes away from 400 likes. You should really get over that bar there. After all, with 30 minutes left to hit 500, you gotta hit that mark quick. Otherwise, JavaName would have been right to baby you that you couldn't hit the 500. And I don't want to put words in JavaName's mouth, but I think you're a lot more skilled than that, to be fair. There's your 400. Congratulations on your achievement. You are 80% of the way of today's goal. You have 30 more minutes to achieve that goal. This is your chance. Soda on pause. It has been a bit since you've been here, but you have returned. And good to see you. And also, thank you for being a member. Refreshing the chat to dodge any anomalous interference. Hey, Desk, I have a question. Is throwing 682 into the back rooms ethical? SCP-953, I will answer that on Desk's behalf because no, it's not. Think about it like this. Anomalies like the back rooms, like SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA, they are winding, seemingly infinite spaces. But here's the thing. SCP-682 is functionally immortal. And what that means is that no matter how long it is stuck there, it is a statistical certainty that with enough time, 682 will find the exit, which means 682 will be uncontained. So it is better to keep it in containment where we can keep an eye on it than setting it loose in a seemingly infinite space and hoping it won't find an exit, because maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday that bastard will find an exit and we'll all be screwed. Intern De Michelle, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, Doc, got a question. Well, Intern Diesland, now that I've seen you in this chat of 100 people flying by on my screen, you might have wasted your chance to get an answer. You should really lead up with your question, just for future chat ethical concerns to getting your questions answered. Hoy, is your pen an anomaly? Intern Main, both myself and my pen are currently locked in a state of quantum superposition between being anomalous and non-anomalous. For all the time that I've been streaming, I have been under the impression that I am a perfectly normal, non-anomalous human, as is my pen, a perfectly non-anomalous, non-human pen, because if it were a human pen, it would be in fact anomalous, but it's not human, and it's a normal pen. But due to some dust-up about a month ago, my anomalous status has been brought into question, and both the pataphysics department and the quantum superposition department are trying to figure out if I am in fact anomalous or not. I am definitely not listed as an SCP, because there is no SCP document on the database about me. But I may or may not be anomalous. We're kind of in a Shermdinger's cat situation here. Dr. Sherman, are you trapped in the Chamber of No Return again? Again? I've never been trapped there at all. It's the Chamber of No Return. You don't return from it. That's kind of the whole point. I am instead just simply in the Audiophonics lab, where I always stream from. Mr. G and Minzu, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So, I saw a picture of Shy Guy. How long do I have? Well, if you saw a legitimate picture of Shy Guy, then your time is only as long as it takes a very fast Shy Guy to break out of containment and find you. But It seems, luckily for you, what you saw was an artistic rendering, and SCP-096 is not freaking out or attempting to breach containment, so it seems like you're fine. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Did 682 ever say why it hates humans? Unfortunately, it has not told us why. A big jerk. Really? That's good. Yep, William, it looks like you dodged the bullet this time. Yes, 682, I know you heard it. You big jerk. Also, who the fuck gave 682 a phone? And how is that not burning in the acid right now? Very confusing. Well, I was interested in a certain backrooms entity, the Titan Smiler. How would one contain such a colossal monstrosity? Well, 953, let me take a look at this Titan Smiler first. How big are we talking? But it is way taller and lurks in the dark. It says way bigger, but it doesn't say how much bigger. Frustrating. Okay, based on this photograph, it seems to be about the size of a small tree, which honestly is not that big by comparison to many of the things that we contain. So we just need to make a slightly larger containment cell. Not really that big a problem. Do you know the SCP-067? Well, intern Roblox guy. Yes, I am quite familiar. SCP-067 is an anomalous fountain pen, and if you hold it in your hand, it takes over your arm and autonomously writes your life story, even recalling facts that you do not remember. And so it's a very useful anomaly, especially for interrogations. We are currently in the process of securing it so we can use it for one right now. Who would I talk to about securing a personal reality anchor, as the one I have been using for my personal investigation has been broken by much exposure to altered reality somewhere, no known place? Intern Mystery String. You've got me a little confused right now, because at least in my universe, Scranton reality anchors are the size of frickin' MRI machines. They contain the body of a dead reality bender. They are very large, very expensive, very hard to move and acquire. Personal reality benders do not exist in my reality, so I wouldn't know where to get one. But what you could look into is there is on YouTube a live action SCP show pilot by the name of SCP Academy. And SCP Academy by Dark Math Films has what they call a mobile Scranton reality ballast. And it's essentially a slap bracelet that acts as a miniature reality anchor. I'm not sure how they got this level of technology, but if you go to the Dark Math Films YouTube channel and you look into this SCP Academy Part 001, The Containment Breach, then maybe you can get some intel on where to see such a thing. And in the same stroke, you can successfully support a live-action SCP film project currently in production. By the way, as a time check, everyone, you have 20 minutes left in stream. 20 minutes. So get your questions in now. Since I'm still curious, what would you do if you were put onto the SCP page? So, Hunter, making an SCP article about a singular character is already a pretty tough read. Usually you gotta have some sort of storyline or very interesting anomaly and quirk and testing logs to get through that. And so you're already looking up an uphill battle from just the idea of writing about a singular character. But also, writing about someone who has a YouTube channel about SCP is going to get you a lot of groans from the SCP authors who are like, we don't want a story about a real life guy. So if you're going to make the Dr. Sherman character an SCP article, you better be the best frickin' SCP author of all time to pull that off. It seems like a low possibility that that could happen. And also, I guess I'd be really confused about the canonicity of an SCP document about myself that wasn't written by me. Although I guess Dr. Sherman is used by people in their own productions, and I'm not characterizing the character then, so it gets very wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey in the pataphysical narrative levels there. Go search 67. Roblox guy, I am uninterested in dealing with a non-canon meme that has nothing to do with actually SCP. This 067 SCP meme thing, I've already made a video short of it on the channel, if you want to look at that, but I'm uninterested in speaking on it further because it's just a fake SCP the same way everyone claimed Siren Head was an SCP back in 2020. Siren Head was never an SCP, and SCP-67 is not an SCP either. You know, when I first looked at your channel, I just watched the SCP Shower Thoughts and is not an SCP. But if they were, those are good series. I'm working on bringing them back. But then I saw you were live, and here I am. Well, welcome to your first live. We're having a good time. We've been streaming daily for 5.5 months. So we've been having a good time in these office hours and coffee breaks and fan art Fridays. The CASM, the chasm files, I'll call you, is Springtrap an SCP? I'm wondering because any anomaly is an object, not a person. It's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. So anything that is from a different fandom or multiverse, it is not an SCP because we can't take their copyrighted works and make SCPs out of them. But they are still anomalous if they don't follow the rules of normalcy and natural laws. So, Springtrap is an anomaly, but it's not an SCP. Damn, boy, this stream was long. I just came back. Well, Java name, welcome back. As you can see, we're currently at 430 likes with 15 minutes left in stream. I told the chat that if we hit America's 500 like goal, it would be a challenge to you, who said that you wanted a 500 like goal on a stream, but then you knocked your goal down to 265 the other day. Now, while I do appreciate you being very generous to the Containment Hazard Assessment team and gifting memberships, I do have to point out that we don't have to coddle Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, the best mobile task force in the Foundation, the greatest hot dog eating champions, because they can hit 500 likes in a stream, and today we're proving it. We are not going to let our prowess be doubted any longer. So 50 likes left, team, and 15 minutes to get them. I look forward to toasting your victory. Favorite YouTuber, of course, my favorite SCP YouTuber. Well, intern Pickle, I appreciate your patronage and that you enjoy our work. We do our best to bring the SCP Foundation to the people in any way we can. So I'm glad you're enjoying it and having fun out there. Ah, Chaos Goblin Dogs. Good to see you right at the last minute of stream for the day. My favorite SCP YouTuber is the V sound of a pan hitting desk, Dr. Sherman. I was saying Dr. Sherman. Well, I mean desk. My favorite SCP YouTuber is Radiger, so I'm scared to say anyone different, to be honest. I barely made it out of that van alive last time. I truly missed your content. Can't wait to tune into your streams in the near future. We'll appreciate it, Kazu Quest. We're doing our best work here, and we're doing everything we can to bring more people into the SCP inner circle so that the SCP Wiki gets the adoration and the adaptations and projects it deserves. I'm so glad you recommended them to me. Rad is so peak. Damn right, Dr. Frogman. Damn right. Hey, Dr. Frogman, those are some very nice Site42 membership emotes that you're using. I wonder if anyone wanted to become a Site42 channel member, get a nice green name, and then access to the custom emojis that we have here. On top of which, those goals where if we get 2,500 members to the channel, then we will have me dye my hair pink, which in case you didn't hear earlier, my next hair appointment for a dye job is in 3 weeks. So if you can hit 2,500 members in 3 weeks, I will dye my hair pink that appointment right before Halloween. Meanwhile, if we hit 5,000 memberships, that's when you guys get your wish and we do the cat-made waifu Dr. Sherman stream. So yeah, become members to get your emojis and to make the chats whatever they want to happen to me's come true, I guess. You are gay, question mark. Well, you could consider it such if you consider asexuality as part of the LGBTQIA spectrum. Oh, though I have to alert you that my author, regular Sherman, is a cis-het white guy. And so he doesn't want to steal valor by claiming to be LGBTQIA when he's not. Ugh, that's really annoying when he does that. Man, I would love to see some George emojis in the chat. Me too, Desk. That jaunty chinchilla will take over the task real hard. The SCP Wiki is and always has been the peak of human creativity. I mean, it is arguably the largest collaborative fiction project in history. Think about that. Think of another collaborative writing project where several thousand people write about the same thing. At least when you're doing like Star Trek fan fiction and other fan fictions, they're all writing their own stories, but they're not really collaborating on the same project the way that SCP authors all pitch in to the same community building. So it's kind of insane when you think about it like that. Is Bigfoot an SCP? Intern Smurfettes, yes. Bigfoot is SCP-1000, actually. You can check on the database. Soul Hunter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Cheez-Its on your way past the commissary. Has anyone seen the Scream-powered blender? Well, it was in the break room. Did someone move it? What? Who would take that? I mean, people aren't really fans of the Scream-powered blender because, you know, having to scream at your smoothie to get it blended will make you hoarse pretty quick. Not make you a horse. That's a completely different anomaly. So, yeah, let's get that back, please. Old Bowl, thank you for donating again. My chicken soup from the commissary went cold. Can I get another, or is that too greedy? No, I'm fine with it. You can go get another one. Hold on, I need to make a milkshake. Soul Hunter, Dr. Frogman has the Scream-powered blender. Senior researcher, Dr. Frogman, please return it to the break room when you're done. Agreed. As a mediocre story writer and longtime DM, the best pieces of fiction are always when multiple enthusiastic minds work together. Hell yeah, Kazu Quest. Hell yeah, indeed. I agree entirely. Getting people to bounce ideas just sharpens the stone, and we get the best diamond stories when we all work together. Hell yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. So which of the SCPs is the most unnerving? Well, Intern Hunter, for me, it's SCP-2718, I believe. That one gives me the heebies and the jeebies. SCP-2718, codename What Comes After. That's all I have to say about that. Site 42 staff, you are just shy of 470 likes. With 8 minutes left in this stream, can you break 500? Can you prove that Java Name doesn't need to coddle you in the future because you are, in fact, the mightiest mobile task force in the Foundation? I hope so. Hi, I love your videos. I just want to ask something. Is SCP-999 like a pet or just a little friend? Well, Intern Random, I would say that, the first thing, SCP-999 is not small. If you look at the documentation for SCP-999, it is 2 meters by 1 meter. It is 6 feet wide and 3 feet tall. That is not a small slime. But it does have the mentality of a delightful puppy. So it is a nice goo boy, but it is much larger than people expect. Intern Sid, the time check is we have 6 minutes left in this stream. 6 minutes. Do you have your SCP Foundation coffee cup? Well, I have my Personnel of the Month coffee cup by friend of the channel, Toad King Studios, and their wonderful Etsy store. Refreshing the chat. Give me knowledge. What SCP should I go over on my channel? I think today, intern Pickle, you should go over SCP 3143. I think you should go over SCP 3143. I think you'll have a fun time. Dr. Sherman, I'd like to ask, what is the Foundation's relationship with Urban Shade, as we have similar motifs? So, Intern Operative, we are in a situation where other anomalous groups out there, the groups of interest we call them, are always in competition with us for one reason or another. The Serpent's Hand thinks that most anomalies should be free and knowledge of them should be free. The Global Occult Coalition wants to lock things down even more strictly than us, and they want to destroy anomalies that they deem dangerous, where we want to keep things around so we can research them. Urban Shade has different objectives, and since they are similar to us, we could work together from time to time, but we don't like to work with outsiders, if we can help it. What do you do? Well, Intern Banana, what we do here at Site-42 is we make videos about the SCP Foundation, explaining the lore, questions and answers and things like that. And on these daily streams, we do a whole lot of Q&A because we've been doing daily streams for about 5 months and change right now. The streak stands strong. And so I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. Double checking the chat. We're having a little bit of a disruption here. Hey, just found your shorts yesterday and I'm glad to have caught a stream. Well, welcome, Libertina. Yes, it seems that we're going through a little bit of a viral streak right now. Can't complain about that. So, welcome to the Site-42 community. As I said, I answer questions about the SCP Foundation. I'm the site director of Site-42, as well as head containment specialist. And yeah, little Q&A, some memes, some good times, some very, very dark times and the horrors of the Foundation. We do it all. Welcome to the team. Also, Site-42 staff, I'm looking at your like count. You're at 484 with a grand total of 2.5 minutes left. So you have 2.5 minutes to get those last 16 likes. I believe in you. I think we can make this happen. So you do not work with the Global Occult Coalition, I see. Well, sometimes we have to, but we don't prefer to do so. What's your favorite SCP? Well, Intern Rocky, at the end of this stream, I will tell you my favorite SCP. What the hell? Charlemagne just closed my booth. You little criminal. You gonna lock me in here? Jiminy sakes.
He's been restrained.
What a criminal kitten.
He shows no remorse.
Bring the child.
He's proud of himself.
Bring the child to answer for his crimes.
You're a criminal. He's burned.
Well, since Charlemagne decided to be a criminal, you get to see Charlemagne. Here is the boy. What's up, little guy?
Purr.
I can't believe you tried to lock me in here. You horrible criminal, you.
He thinks you're too loud.
Well, I am too loud. That has always been the case. As Radiger says, Theater Kid speaks with the caps lock on. So that's where we are.
Confirm he is purring.
Confirm he is purring. What a good babe.
No, he is criminal.
Also a criminal. Can be good babe and criminal. Like Robin Hood.
Fair.
Okay, Charlemagne, we set you free now. You have atoned for your crimes. All right, where was I? Besides being locked in my office.
I thought you closed the door to keep him out.
Literally, I'm sitting here in this booth, and the door just starts moving on its own. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Then I hear Charlemagne's neck bell jingling. The Pokeball neck bell.
You went over there, and I thought you closed the door to keep him out. Then he came back.
Criminal. Ah, I have reset the chat, and now it is all Josie the half cat emojis. That makes sense. Now, chat, at this point, stream is over. There are 8 likes left to get to 500. So while I do the outro, you just, you got your last chance here. The outro begins now. So here at the end of stream, as is traditional around these parts, I like to tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. But if you want to see the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's Site 42 Hub and SCP author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs that I've personally written or done sound effects or voice lines for. And while you're there, one tab over, you'll find some links. And on those links, you'll find a link that people are very interested in finding, but they never look hard enough. They don't have the strength of character. They're not intrepid enough adventurers to find their way to the glory land of links. And so, make sure you don't fall for that same thing. And while you're at those links, make sure to become a Site 42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member if you want to support us monthly. Do a Ko-Fi donation or a YouTube Super Chat if you want to donate once at a time. Either way, anyone who direct donates to Site 42, we appreciate your generosity in helping us keep the lights on around here, both me, my moderators, and my editor. And while we're at it, if you can't donate because you are part of the broke gang, trust me, we're an arts community. Starving artist is a trope for a reason. And as long as you are here in the chat, liking, sharing, subscribing, doing that YouTube business, sharing our videos, commenting on them, then you are a honorable and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename The Signal Boosters. And because of your efforts, we are able to bring people into the SCP community to help us support the wiki and its authors, artists, game devs, filmmakers, and all sorts of SCP creations that we're going to make. Netflix and Amazon will never do it because they don't want to touch the Creative Commons, so we'll have to do it ourselves. Now, before I tell you my favorite SCPs, you guys have successfully got your 500 likes. I knew you could do it. Java name, I hope you are proud of the team because you wanted this goal and now it has been achieved. 500 plus likes in one stream. Everyone's emoting their victory. I have the utmost respect for my containment hazard assessment team here. Congratulations, chat. You've earned it. Now, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning about that last one, it is a rough read. Speed round, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320-8980. Content warning, the last one, it's a rough read. Now, before I finally sign off, Missing T, you're saying that you have discovered some intel about why people did not get memberships last time. Spill the tea. Spill the tea for me. I'm interested in your intel. Missing T. I am watching the chat with bated breath to see what the intel is. Day 4 of asking Dr. Sherman to do weird science for the outro song. A.A. Blackwood, I'll have you know, I am listening to it daily to get the rhythm. It's a very tricky rhythm, and I don't know the song besides just weird science. So I need to learn it a little better to do it a cappella because I won't even have backup music to keep me on beat. So I'm working on it. It is in process. Now, meanwhile, I'm still looking for Missing T's explanation before I sign off completely. You've got me interested. Now you've baited the hook. Now you gotta reel me in. Refreshing the chat. And while I'll do this, yes, I'll explain this to Java name. Yes. America was jealous of your strength and generosity and made a promise they couldn't keep. They have felt bad about it. In fact, felt too bad about it. They did get the ribbing they deserve for lying. But now we need to be in a chill forgiveness mode. And they will do better in the future. They have said so. Chest to Factory thinks it's because the people have not enabled the setting on YouTube that allows you to get gift memberships, which is a thing. There's a setting that allows you to receive gift memberships, and if it's off, you won't get them. So you got to make sure you do that. But otherwise, I want to see if Missing T has another answer. I can't spill the tea as I have none. But YouTube distributes gifts to highly engaged viewers, so actively participating in the channel's live streams and premieres will increase your chances. Yes, I did see that earlier today, yes. Not to step on your toes at all. But, yes, Legendary Doge, that setting is off by default. So if you want to get a gifted membership in the future when they are gifted, make sure to set that setting to on. Okay, Site42 staff. This has been a wonderful Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't regret, can't forget what I did for love. By the way, you're not on the floor, everyone. You're just facing the opposite wall that you were before. Java name, thank you for donating a single Site42 gift membership during the credit song, which was What I Did for Love from the musical A Chorus Line, and was the title inspiration for SCP-2700-EX, which I wrote. Be safe, be well, everybody, and secure, contain, protect.